Good morning, everybody. This is a Sunday morning shave for me, so by the time you see it, it may not be morning, but at any rate, today's going to be a very interesting shave, and I'll start with the shaving cream. And got this by the way of eBay, so yeah, there we go, get the glare off of it. This is the original mild shaving cream by Nivea, and also it may be kind of hard to see, but right up there is telling you this is a shaving cream made for a brush. This is what the packaging looks like when you take it out of the box. And this is this tube is metal. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. And as it goes for any scent, just whatever's naturally occurring. In other words, it's not a menthol or anything like that. At least not that my nose is picking up. And I have it here whipped up in a. This is a wooden bowl here from the Distinctive Goat. It's got concentric rings in there. In other words, they're going all the way to the bottom there. It's this one here. Yeah, this is the walnut one. And I've got two of these. The other one's walnut and cherry. And I got it whipped up here with a brush from Metalworks. And it lathered up pretty good. I was kind of surprised this shaving cream took more water than what I was expecting. It whipped up. It looks pretty creamy in the bowl, at least to me it does. What I also was going to, oh, I should say, I also have, and I've tried this one before, got this one here also from Nivea. This original version, this will be my first time shaving with it. And I've got a shaver here that's probably going to spark many passionate conversations. And here's the base plate for it. I will put a link down below which will show how this base plate is used not only for the razor but also to help changing out blades and whatnot. Gentleman from the Superior Shave, he did a pretty good job in demonstrating that. And the razor I have here is, I got the red one. And this is a Focus Dynamic, and I'm not for sure if this if there's supposed to be an R48 that goes along with it, but anyhow, this is a single edge razor that has a pivoting head. The blades that it takes is a half of a DE blade, so your blade selection is wide open for you for whatever you would like to use. The reason why this is going to create quite a stir is the fact that for one, it's a single edge, but it's using half of a DE blade, which, hang on just a second, yes, is the same half blade that the Shavette uses. And you'll kind of see that the loading mechanism is very similar in between the Shavette and the single edge razor. For me, I understand the look, I've got a lot of gems, whether they're 1912 version, Micromatics, I have them, enjoy the heck out of them. And that single edge blade is a thicker blade than a DE blade. And traditionally the thought is that when you go with a single edge blade, it's thicker, and yes, it does give you a different shave feel. And so I understand the passionate conversation that'll take place with this, but I also see, how can you say, the marketing in that. I could see where if you're trying to reach young, new wet shavers, this might be the route to go with a pivoting head. And with it being a DE blade, you're not tied to any particular name brand. You can pick whatever blades you want to use. Find the one that works for you. It only takes a half of a DE blade. So once you, in other words, you buy your razor, your blades, in other words, can be as expensive as you want them to be. And ultimately, though, it's still going to be a very inexpensive blade, because DE blades are typically, they're pretty inexpensive. So it'll be interesting how these conversations go. This will be my first shave with it. I will also put, I'll put my blog, because I'll be shaving with this all week, using different kind of blades to find out, in other words, what works well for me or doesn't work well for me or whatever the case might be. This one here is a Perma-Sharp, and it's a pre-cut blade. And I have a few of those because I shave with a shavette on a regular basis. And I'll use some pre-cut ones first before I use some ones that are snapped in half. My pre-cut blades that I have Sharp, Perma-Sharp, got some Derby blades, and Shark. Seems like I'm forgetting one, but in other words, I've got a few. And I do plan on, believe it or not, yes, I do plan on taking a feather, snapping it in half, and putting it in there to see what kind of shave I get with it. That is one of them that I definitely want to try by the end of the week, just to see what kind of shave I get. And believe it or not, I may need to add some water on this. I don't know. We'll see how the first pass goes. But boy, this is, I know it's a shaving cream, but this sure is creamy. I was pretty excited when I saw the posting, excuse me, on YouTube showing this razor. I thought, you know, at first, you know, I had reservations about it, was thinking about, nah, and then I got to thinking more and more about it. You know, it's a pretty ingenious idea and a way of marketing if you're trying to get somebody that's accustomed to a head that pivots, and the DE blade thought of it. I understand where they're coming from. I'm going to give this a try. I haven't shaved with a razor with a pivoting head in quite a while, so this could be interesting. I'm very interested in how smooth this is going to be. And Perma-Sharp, you know, has that reputation of being I guess you might say, a fairly sharp blade. It's not it doesn't fall in the category of usually being a dull blade or a mild blade. But I'd have to say right now, I really don't. In other words, you know, with a DE, I mean not DE, but a single edge, you know, usually you have that blade feel. You feel that blade. And this one here, really not noticing quite like I do when I use it with a shavette. Yeah, this is an interesting shave. That pivoting head is something to get used to. Like I say, it's been a good long while since I shaved with a razor that's got a pivoting head. But I'd have to say, for somebody that has been shaving with, in other words, coming from a cartridge razor, switching over to something like this, how I could see the clear advantage and know more what I've already shaved with it. It would be a natural progression for them. So far, this is very smooth with this blade. Now, how close would the overall shave be? That'll be interesting on my part, because I usually don't try to get a BBS shave by any means. I just get a close, smooth, comfortable shave. That's all I'm after. In other words, irritation free. Now, I have shaved with a R41, and I didn't feel like it was, I understand some folks having issues with it, but I didn't. It's a very efficient shaver. I really like that razor. That's an awesome razor. That's one of those razors that, yeah, will always stay with me. Be one of my favorites because it is very efficient. Not a whole lot of feedback on this. Not really. This is a very interesting shave. I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. So like I said, I haven't shaved with a pivoting head in quite a while, and this would be the kind of shave that normally what I do is during the week I will shave with a shavette, and every once in a while I'll dabble with a straight razor. And then on Saturday and Sunday, Saturday being the single edge, and then on Sunday will be the double edge. And kind of thinking that this will be a pretty relaxing week shaving with this one. It also hopefully doesn't develop any bad habits, because you know, since the head does pivot on its own, when you go back to ones that don't pivot, I don't know if it's bad habits, but in other words, you'll get out of the practice and get accustomed to using one with a pivoting head and going back to one that doesn't. You have to remind yourself, in other words. I guess in a way you might, I don't know, I guess the concern would be you get kind of relaxed in your shaving routine, because where you used to always pay attention to your angle and how you're, you know, moving your razor across your face, where this one here pivots, so the concern is not quite there. Kind of goes back to my thought that, you know, this is a pretty good idea, as it goes for help encouraging shavers that are used to a cartridge, for instance, one with a pivoting head. Help them transition from that. Yeah, it may take a few shaves to get used to allowing the head to move to the contour of the face, as opposed to me helping it along. I'm thinking, when I was looking into this, if I remember right, the angle, I think it's set up to maintain a consistent 25-degree angle, if I remember right. I have slept a time or two since then. This is awfully smooth. At this point in time, I guess you might say I'd really see there's somebody transitioning. It's an easy transition, in my opinion. I couldn't imagine somebody really having a hard time outside the pressure factor. Pressure is the same with any other, I guess you might say, a DE single edge. I won't know how to act at the end of the week. This is just, it's, how can you say, way too easy. It just glides right across your face. I mean, you can feel it going through the whiskers, but on the other hand, it's cutting it down. It just doesn't feel like it when you're shaving with it. That's just a strange feeling, because you're so used to, you know, feeling the blade cut through the whiskers, you know, and you kind of sort of feel it, but on the other hand, I don't. Yeah, there's already, I still got one more pass to go, and there's not a whole lot left. There's not a whole lot left for it to get. Like I say, it's kind of surprised at how efficient it is. It's going to be a fun week, I can tell. I'll be working through my shaving creams also this week. Yeah, if there's a scent, it's just one that's naturally occurring. My nose isn't picking up any scent, which makes it kind of nice because, you know, for those that are concerned about your shaving cream interfering with your aftershave and pairing it up and whatnot, I wouldn't be concerned about it with this shaving cream. And it's pretty nice cream. This is pretty creamy. Oh, by the way, I ordered this shaving cream, nose is itching of course, through eBay. It is kind of odd on shaving creams how hard it is to find shaving cream here in the States without having to go through all kinds of hoops. In other words, here locally, in other words, I don't know of anybody that carries an actual shaving cream. Not the stuff in a can. In other words, not foam, cream. You can kind of tell too, it doesn't seem to have a problem with, in other words, keep right on moving the razor across your face, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's clogging up by any means. Like right now against the grain, I can feel a little bit of I hear a little bit of the feedback, but it's nothing like what you would normally get with a single edge blade. Still pretty smooth. Really don't think the alum block's going to have much to say. Without touching your face, in other words, feeling how much how much the reduction is on your whiskers, I would almost say the shave feel is fairly close to a Gillette Tech. Not quite. It's not quite like that, but it's close. Yeah, this is going to be fun all week. I think on Wednesday, though, I'll do a video with the shave it, then I'll do another video on Friday with this razor. In other words, letting everybody know on video as opposed to in words how this is going. Because in my blog every once in a while, in other words, you get off on, for instance, like today, there might be a bit of a conversation more about the shaving cream itself as opposed to the razor. This is pretty good cream. I got 3 tubes of it. It's a good thing too, because I kind of like this. This is pretty good shaving cream. I did notice the gentleman from Superior Shave. He did mention that through his experience that the longevity of this half blade may be reduced compared to what you're used to when you used it in your DE razor. Outside of maybe a feather blade, my blades are one and done when it comes to half blades. I don't now if I'm trying to see how far I can stretch them, yeah, I'll use them more than one time. That's because I'm just trying to see how far I can go to get a shave out of them. And but blades being as inexpensive as they are, no, they're one and done. I don't stretch them out. Feather would be the only one I would do that with, and probably only because I'm running a little short. Because feather blades I don't buy by the 100. I don't use them enough to buy them by the 100. Not that I don't like feather blades, it's just I've got plenty other blades that are cheaper and give me just a, you know, fine shave. Yeah. I just have to say, this is a very nice shave. So if you're using a cartridge and looking at spending less money on the blades, this is the razor to get. I'd have to say after my first shave. This is a very good shave. The more I use it, the more I get used to it. I'm pretty sure I can even get a closer shave than what I did today. Really nice shave. So, once again, I understand. I truly do understand the issue with the thicker single edge blade. I understand that. But on the other hand, marketing, getting more people over to this side of shaving, this is a very good idea. This is a really nice shave. Oh, I guess, busy yakking. The witch hazel I'm using is Humphreys, lilac, and I can smell the lilac still. It's not enough, in other words, it doesn't stick around for an extended period of time, so I'm not concerned about it interfering with anything. Not that I ever do concern myself with that anyway. With my nose, no, it's not going to interfere. I'm lucky just to be able to smell it half the time. My aftershave of the day, this is a McKinley from Starlight Gold Shave, and the scent, if I remember correctly, is supposed to be something close to Oriental Plum, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the scent on this one here. It's a I guess you might say a sweet fruit type scent. If you don't know what Oriental Plum is, what that scent is like, but it smells great, especially for a Sunday. I'm kind of surprised the weather finally did calm down. We have I'm in Oklahoma, and we had weather roll through about 1:30 this morning, go until about 3 this morning. In other words, the tornado horns were going off, the sirens going off, and the kids were up, and the family was up, and so I was up. Nothing bad happened, at least here in my immediate surrounding. They picked up rotation, I think it was a couple of miles from here, and it was radar, so I haven't heard whether it's actually damaged or not, but everything's fine here. Once again, though, this is what it looks like. This is a Focus dynamic single edge razor. You can see the head pivots. This is all aluminum. The only part that is not aluminum is that pin right there, and it's stainless steel. Outside of that, this is an all aluminum construction and 100% made in Italy according to the package, which if you're like some folks, wherever you live, you like to buy those products made right there. And for those that are living in Italy, this one here, this great job on this one. Man, I'd have to, matter of fact, it even says right there on the handle. I don't know if you can pick that up or not. This is just a really nice shaver. Without using the the top plate. I'll go ahead and show you how this slides, if I can. I may have to just let the video do it. Not quite accustomed to taking this part yet, but I'm going to use the head there. What it is you can see in the video when I link to it, it's kind of hard to show up like this. If it's like this, and you can kind of see how the back is where the posts are at, so you know which way to shift it. And with this base, the stand, it holds the top cap in place, so when you slide it, it exposes the blade for you. Matter of fact, this is the only razor I bought a stand for, and it was because I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Had a fantastic shave. Everybody stay safe, and smooth shaves to you till next time.